So, here we are at the entrance to my games room, or man cave, as the sign that was a gift from my mum says. Not really the image I wanted to portray. It's a cave for men and women, whoever wants to play. So let's go and see. I'll do a quick look around to give you the general view of it first, and then we'll get into some more detail, yeah? But it's not finished. It probably never will be. It's still evolving. But it's as close to... Oh, mouse cow. No. No, this is not a kitty room. I really do need to keep the cats out. Just in, I don't want them shredding things. There's my Midnight Resistance poster. There's my PC big boxes. There's my Golden Axe poster. Man in his pants holding his big chunky weapon. Fine. Xbox 360 and PC stuff. Commodore 64. And with a few Spectrum titles in there as well. And Amiga stuff up there, and some Game Boy and PSP stuff there, and a Dalek, and a great big bomb, and various other bits and pieces. We'll get over to that side. We've got Sega Saturn, and Mega Drive, and PlayStation, and GameCube, and Master System, and Dreamcast, and some other bits and pieces shoved in the top. And a collection of various steering wheels and rock band equipment, and some board games and pinball games. But what you really want is to see the video games, isn't it? So we've got GameCube, N64, SNES, NES, or Nintendo as we just called them back in the day. We have Xbox 360, we have modded Xbox running Coinops 8. We have Atari Jaguar with modded spinner controller for Tempest 2000. We have Atari 7800 with Future was 8 bits video output mod. We have a Core Graphics PC Engine. We have a PS4. An Acorn Archimedes A3000. A couple of shuttle format PCs that I need to get working on. Atari 2600, so I now don't need to mix up 7800 and 2600 format stuff. Dreamcast, Saturn, Mega Drive, Master System, Vectrex, Commodore 64, running there at the moment on my Philips Discoverer TV set, a Commodore MPS 801 printer, disk drive and cassette deck up there. We've got a couple of Speccy Plus 2s there. We've got Amiga 600, 48K Speccy, another 48K Speccy in DK-Tronics case, MSX, another very yellowed Commodore 64, a hard drive for Amiga, and Domokun, and I'm going all over the shop here, aren't I? Let's get back down to here where there is a Plus 2 with a Future was 8-bit Div MMC Future. My beloved lava lamp. I've had that since I was 17. It's an original Crestworth one, hence all the dings in it. It's as dented and old as I am. This was before they became Mathmos. We have a RISC PC 700 running Elite. I've got a old compact Pentium 1 laptop that I'm getting up and running to do DOS and maybe Windows 95 games, if I can get Windows 95 games running. We have Ceiling Cat. Ceiling Cat is watching us. LCD games, Game Boy games and Game Boy Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance SP and DS. We have Mario Clock that I've had for God knows how long, I don't know. PSP and Game Gear, and Tomytronic 3D, Shark Attack, Blip and various Pocketeers. We have Xbox One titles. We have Soul Calibur arcade sticks, and I believe behind there is boxes for Donkey Konga Bongos. And we have a few PS2 titles, a few PS4 and PS3, and light gun games to be played on the big TV, currently showing House of the Dead 3 on another Xbox down there with some light guns, and more light guns down there, and there's a chipped slim PS2 and an unchipped fat one. In here, if I get these cables out of the way. Oh my word, that's really yellowed since the last time I saw that. Yeah, that doesn't get much use because it's, might as well just use the PS2, but it's one of those ones with the fancy outputs. But my god, can you see the difference there in colour? Yeesh. I need to get retro brighting. I've got so many things that need retro brighting, it's crazy. But you know, other stuff tends to get in the way. Oh, you know, I'm going to leave that before it screeches anymore. Huge TV. This is milk and cheese. They do as they please. We have display cabinet for things I like to display. Mainly Fallout stuff. A few lunch boxes, Pip-Boy, and a big bomb. Some black hole bubblegum cards, because I had a complete set of those when I was a kid and lost them over the years and managed to pick them up cheap. So I'll be going through those at some point. I can bore you senseless with all of those. Right. Shall we... Let's do a quick spin around so you get a good feel for the place. I have a comfy chair to sit in, so let's sit in that for a minute. There's a footrest there when I want to put my feet up, when there isn't an Archimedes there. And I can sit on a swivel chair and play on that, or play on that, or play on that, or play on that. Although obviously sitting this close playing light gun games is a bit cheaty, isn't it? But yes, this has become a nice little sanctuary when I have time to play things. It's all here, ready to go. Of course, there's always something that goes wrong, but hey, at least it keeps the games out of the rest of the house and gives us a chance to maybe get that lot sorted. But yeah, so let's go and show you the rest of the stuff, eh? I really do want to point out that those of you who've been following for I don't know how long, yeah, those of you who've been following me for a while, you know me by now. You know, this isn't about bragging. I hate braggarts. I hate people who go, look at my collection, oh look at all this cool stuff I've got. This really isn't about that. I'm just lucky in I've managed to keep hold of all the Commodore 64 stuff. I've lost a load of Spectrum stuff over the years, but I've been able to keep hold of a load of my stuff, and so I want to share it with you. If there's anything that you go, oh my god, I didn't know you had that, quick, you know, ask, I'll do a video on it. Because I don't know, I just want to share. It's not like, oh yeah, look, yeah, like, yeah, okay, I have Great Guiana Sisters on display twice, but I just got lucky. I'm not rich. You just get lucky. As long as you keep your eyes open, you'll find these things. I'm not going, oh look at me, I've bought all this stuff on. Anyone can build a big collection if you're rich. You can just go out and spend silly amounts of money. This is 30-40 years of me just buying things as and when, and then never throwing them away. So, you know, I want to share it with you. And, you know, well, like I said, if there's anything that you like, give us a nod and I'll do a video on it or something. But yeah, let's show you what there is then, because there's nothing worse than seeing shelves and people going too quickly for you to be able to see what's on them, isn't it? So, well, start with there's Shadow the Beast. I've done a video on that. Let's get Torch out. James Pond 2 RoboCard, these are all Amiga games. Lemmings 2, Police Quest, Power Drive, Super Skid Marks, Shadow the Beast 3, I've done that. Midwinter 2, I think that might be an empty box, but it's a shame to throw it away, and one day I'll find the discs. Space Hulk, Mortal Kombat, Cannon Fodder, Sensible Soccer, which version is that? I don't know. Sensible Golf, WizKid, I've done videos on some of those. We've got some Spectrum titles at the top there. Batman, Castle of Dreams, War of Middle-earth, Scrabble, Survival, 10 Computer Hits Volume 5, The Young Ones, and Mad Balls. That's... you can probably read that better than I can, what game that is. Summer Games, Summer Games. Pokemon, Archie McLean's Mercury. DS games that I never get around to playing. I never play on the DS, I don't know what it is. Do I need to read all of these out to you? Probably not. As long as I, well, Operation... I probably should, seeing as not all of them say what they are, shouldn't I? Come on, Motoko, out the way. Back to the Future 3. Batman, Blues Brothers, Chase HQ on Commodore 64 and Spectrum, so the best and the worst. Creatures, Creatures 2, Dandare 3. Dominator, Flimbo's Quest, Golden Axe on Spectrum and C64. Hammer Fist, if I don't say what it's for, assume it's for 64. Hudson Hawk, International 3D Tennis, Laser Squad, Lords of Chaos, Ninja Remix for Spectrum, out the way, Motoko, Ninja Spirit, Operation Thunderbolt, we'll go backwards now, Cross Out or X Out, WWF WrestleMania and European Rampage, you stay there. Vendetta, The Untouchables, Turrican 2, Turrican 1, Turbocharge, Time Machine, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Summer Games, The Spy Who Loved Me, Switchblade, Smash TV, Shadow Warriors, Shadow the Beast, Rainbow Islands, Puzznick, Power Drift, Outrun Europa, and Operation Thunderbolt. One of those is for Specky, one of those is for 64. Now, I don't need to read all of these out, do I? Because you can see what these are. Of course, even with the light, it's still a bit shady in there, isn't it? So, let's move Great Young Resistors out the way. And there we go. I'll just pan across slowly on these. Let's move down a bit so you can see. I've had to really ram them in right into the shelves. I am really running at capacity on these now. Out the way, Jack. Remote control for all the lights. Put that out the way. So you know, there's a fair few there. What's behind there now? I've forgotten already. Oh, 4th and inches. There's games here that I've played a lot. There's games here that I haven't actually played yet. That's my Ghostbusters car that I had as a kid. Obviously, I didn't have an official Ghostbusters car, I just had this Dinky Toys Superior Rescuer on a Cadillac chassis. Complete with... yeah, so it's pointing at the wrong... come on out. Hey. That fun we'd have playing with that as kids. Yeah, it's an ambulance. But hey, it was Ghostbusters as far as I was concerned. Kinder Egg, McDonald's, Rough Riders. Ah, Rough Riders, they were so cool. Anyway, back to the game. So, there's all of those there, some of which I've covered, some of which I haven't yet. We have a Dalek. We have more games here. Some of which I've covered, some of which I've still to do, so if there isn't a video of it already, you know, have a look in the channel, see if there's anything there. If there's a video of it, crack on. If there isn't a video of it, give us a shout. It's, I don't know if I'll do a video on the designer's pencil, mind, but maybe, you never know. Maybe I'll run out of games to cover. No, you stay upright there. There we go. And at some point I'll be covering the Far Side. Far Side? Freescape. Where did I get Far Side from? The Freescape series. But they'll take a while. So that's Commodore 64 and Spectrum stuff, mainly Commodore 64. In here is a horrible load of cables because, as you all know, every gamer, and especially retro gamers, need a drawer full of messy cables that are all tangled up. However, here is something that I would like to share with you, even though it's still a little bit awkward. Toilet rolls are your friend. You can just go, oh, there we go, and pop it back in again when you're done. He says, making a pig's ear of it. There we go. Also coffee cans. Fills the drawer quite nicely, stops them all getting tangled. There's storage tip number 1 of I don't know how many. Okay, over here we have 360 games. I don't know if we can get the camera in there to see those, but there's Batman, there's Assassin's Creed, there's Banjo-Kazooie, there's Bayonetta, Bioshock, Blazing Angels, Blue Dragon, Beautiful Katamari, Binary Domain, Blur, Brian Lara International Cricket, Brutal Legend, Burnout Paradise, Bulletstorm. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get these PC games out of the way. You can read the rest of those from there, can't you? Yes, you can. Then we have some PC games. You Don't Know Jack is an absolute classic that really ought to be remade now. We've got on there Discworld, High Octane, Little Big Adventure. We got these ones. What's that there? Oh, Swiv. And then we've got these ones. And then we've got more 360 games in here. It's a bit of an awkward unit, but hey, my granddad made this. So this is older than I am. So I'm loath to throw it out, and it fits quite well in that gap. Then we've got various manuals there and some PC zones and custom PCs from God knows when. Copy of A Canticle for Leibowitz kicking around there, as you do. Various Rubik's toys, puzzles. Retro Gamer cover magazine, cover discs. A few copies of Nolf and Nolf 2, always good for LAN party fun. Bits and pieces. I think we're pretty much done in this corner. Don't worry, only another, I don't know how many more to go. Oh, I need to use both hands here, bear with me a moment. There we go. Now, above the door, that's the last thing I've done actually, put up this shelf. It needs painting, but there we go. We have, well, you can probably see those now. So at some point I'm hoping to do some PC gaming videos once I've got that laptop sorted, or maybe one of those shuttle PCs. And let's move on. We have Dreamcast games. What's that? Oh, that's a hooky copy of Jimmy White's Cue Ball 2, of which I have a legit copy there. Nothing particularly outstanding. I mean, yeah, okay, there's Shenmue, Sonic Adventure 2, Soul Calibur. Nothing to really like. I've got Sega Bass Fishing with no fishing controller. It's all very lackluster, I'm afraid. Master System. There's those there. And hopefully these are legible. Action Fighter, Double Dragon, the Ninja, Super Tennis, Thunderblade World Grand Prix. I don't think I've covered any of those yet on the channel, have I? We have GameCube. I think that's an action replay. Yeah, that's an action replay. I need the torch again. Shouldn't have put it down, should I? Oh yes, hammer beads. I had a bang at doing those at some point. I ought to do the rest of them. Really, he's kind of just stuck there at the moment. Ah, that's a bit better, isn't it? So yeah, there's a few classics, a few oddball ones. None of which I paid stupid money for, because I got them when they were having massive clear out of the stuff in Game Station, before Game Station shut down a year or so later. So some of these go for silly money now, and it's just scary what some of these things go for. But not bought for investments, they were bought because they were fairly cheap at the time. And I was like, oh, that's supposed to be quite good, and that is. And so I refuse to pay silly money for games. And PlayStation 1. Do tell me if any of these are good or not, because some of them I haven't played yet. This is the problem. I've been doing so much stuff, I've not got a chance to actually sit down and play a great deal of things. So, getting near the bottom now. I'll move this bag of spares out of the way. Right, I think that's covered all of those. That's Sega Saturn. Very poor collection, I'm afraid. Nothing much there. No Burning Rangers or Nights and Dreams, but I have got Exhumed. I've got that one fairly recently. I haven't played that one yet, and I'm looking forward to that. And onto Mega Drive. Some of which I have happy memories of, some of which I haven't played yet. It's a real mix of that. It's either stuff I've played a lot of, or stuff I haven't played at all. Let's see. We have Shinobi, Chase HQ, Tasmania, Operation Wolf, Lotus Rex, Mutant League Football, Rugby, Test Drive 2 The Duel, and Micro Machines 96. So that's that lot covered, I think. Moving on. Yeah, there's some board games and stuff there, just because kind of best place for them at the moment. And in these drawers we have a import version of Lemmings, courtesy of Forensic, thank you for that. A import adapter, Uni Rally or Uni Races I think it's called in the States. Super Bomberman with a multi-tap around here somewhere. And let's just pan through those so you can see what there is. And also from Forensic, an import version of F-Zero. And I think we're done there, yeah. Let's pop these back in. Always tight of space, I've got to make sure I put everything away again. Right, just fits. Can't really get any more SNES cartridges, but fortunately I do have an EverDrive now, so I don't need to get any more cartridges. N64 stuff, however, that could be a problem, especially since the drawer is jamming. I am literally past capacity here by the looks of things. Body Harvest, Quake 2, Forsaken, an Equalizer cartridge that I'm not sure I've ever got working. I don't remember. And then we've got, well, you can see all those. Yeah, well, they look readable on the screen, so there's Top Gear Rally, and I'm not sure what else at the back, and it's an awkward drawer to hang around with, so I'm not going to. Let's get these back in and see if it'll close, eh? Just some speakers that I need to get set up at some point. Let's shift the Archie out of the way. Storage tip number 2. Ziploc bags. Clean your controllers and put them in Ziploc bags. That way, when you need a controller, they're just there and ready to go, and they're not all tangled up and they haven't got all dusty and dirty and grubby. Top tip, that one. Just put all your controllers in Ziploc bags. They're not that expensive and they'll last for ages. And you'll save a fortune on wet wipes for having to constantly clean the bloody things. And then just shove them in a box and shove them away. Now, what do we have over here? Bits and pieces. Well, we have a Steam Link box. We have a Raspberry Pi that I've not really done anything with, and it's a first gen one, so there's probably much more powerful ones out there now. Soul Calibur stick, suitable for Xbox and PS2 and GameCube. Very, very handy. Oh, and another Xbox. I forgot about that under there. And a SCART switch box. Yeah, when did I get that? I'll have to work out what to do with that one. Seeing as I've got that one there and that one over there. Pull back and go Mario Kart figures, because why not? And move controller charger setup for when I finally get round to doing PS3 move light gun games. And now onto the Sega stuff. Let's shift this fan out of the way and pull this chair out of the way and take this torch out of my pocket, and let's have a look in this one, eh? Oh look, it's a CDI game. I do not own a CDI, but as far as CDI games go, I hear that's a good one, and I picked it up dirt cheap at a car boot sale, so I thought I'll have that in case I ever do get a CDI. Now, the keycap stickers for You Don't Know Jack. Various manuals and more cables and bits and pieces, you know. That's to be sorted through at some point. This one's kind of sorted. Let's get the torch on that again. So that be Atari 2600 and Atari 7800 games. Get that out of the way and you can see what those ones are. So I shan't read those, you can read them. Oh, that one there you can't read is California games, which I've covered. And various loose other bits of controllers and bits and pieces that ought to be sorted through, but there we go. And empty storage space, my god, I can put stuff in there. Right. Let's get going under here. IKEA legs. Not bad, but kept collapsing. Fortunately, I had blocks of wood left over when I was making the desk that I could slot inside here, so these are now absolutely rigid. Because otherwise, the weight of everything else on top of them, they kept slotting back down again. But sorted now. Right, those files there are Zap64. Mostly a full run. Certainly from 1 up to about 50 or 60 anyway, I can't remember when I stopped getting it. Your Sinclair, about 10, 20 issues, a few issues of Retro Gamer, some dot matrix listing paper, you know, just in case. PC bits, various cables in there, an iMac DV that works, but I put OS X on it, or one version of OS X, and I think I need to put it back to OS 9. OS X is pushing it a bit, so that's to tinker with at some point, you know, when I run out of things to tinker with. I've got a Windows 98, no, Windows XP box, I think that one is. Need to tinker with that again sometime. Yeah, I got a few power sockets fitted. That goes all the way along. There's about 30 power sockets here, so I'm not short of power sockets, but I do still have some extension cables just in case. A labeler for labelling power sockets and the like. Various floppy disks for Amiga. Some more board games, Tetris ones. A BBC-B that I've managed to fix, then break, then fix, then break again. And I need to get it fixed again. And then I can do BBC stuff. But at the moment, it won't boot. I don't want to get into that one. Why is my Vectrex gone off? Oh dear, that's not good. Ah, phew. You know what? I think I'm going to switch that off now, because I don't want it to die, because I love it dearly. Oh, that's not good. Let's take that cartridge out. Hopefully it's just the cartridge. Phew. It's the scramble cartridge. Well, that's a bit of a relief at least. Anyway, let's knock that off, because it is precious to me, that. Right, we have Commodore 64 stuff up there. Oh, and PC stuff. Quest for Fame ought to be on the big box. PC stuff. We have a Video Master Color cartridge system lurking up there. And a Radofin Color something Color TV game. And an Adman Grandstand. And, well, you can read these things. Scramble TV game. That in the bag up there is a Cabal arcade board that one day I'll get to test. Beneath that is a Saga Emperor keyboard for ZX Spectrum, which I'll fit at some point. 1541. My original accelerator, oh god, I can't remember the name of it now, accelerator disk drive. That needs to be fixed. But hey, I've got that for now. Well, you can read. And we have Commodore 64 disc games, and more disc games, and more discs, and discs, and discs, and there's more discs. Oh dear, in there, and books. Ooh. And cartridges, and Amiga, and actually Atari ST as well, but mainly Amiga, seeing as there's only one Atari ST game, and that is Virus. And more Commodore 64 discs, and more Atari 2600 carts, and some Vectrex games lurking in the corner there. So that's them filling out that corner. And all of these on the walls are original pages from 2000 AD that I had kicking around and they weren't being read. And I always thought it was a travesty to do this sort of thing, but they were taking up space, and there was big piles of them everywhere. And now I get to see them all the time, including Thomas de Torquemada. Never forgive, never forget, never forgive, never for fun. Ah, you mad crazy. Yeah, so I've got some entertainment on the walls to keep me entertained, should I be short of entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, old trusty and genuine CRT, because why the hell not? And then there's the Spectrum, and then we're back to here. Right, we haven't done down here yet, have we? Let's move the fan out of the way and let's sit down for a bit as I introduce you to drawers and drawers of cassettes. Read all those? Moving on. Done. Good. Ah, the Mastertronic section. What's missing there? Gonna have to check that. Can't think what I'm missing. Ah, Spectrum Mastertronic. Good, yep, right, next. Firebird and Silverbird. All does this for. And more Firebird and Codemasters. And Zap Megatapes. And the Hit Squad stuff for Spectrum, all of those ones. And Spectrum Codemasters. And more Spectrum Codemasters and Mastertronic. Commodore format power packs. A few of those. Can we zoom it? Oh, Tai Chi Tortoise at the back there, and Bod Squad. And you can read the rest. And Strange Loop, is that the one at the back? No, there's Star Pauses at the back behind Strange Loop. We've got some Task Set Classics, Software Projects, Bubble Bus Software. And we've got Raid Over Moscow, Encounter, Drop Zone, Anarchy, and then Racket and Houston stuff. Oh, that reminds me of Houston stuff. There's some more Houston up here, isn't there? There's Ultimate stuff. Ah, there we go. Some more Houston stuff. What's that? Southern Bell for Commodore 64. And Chaos. Yes, that's one I really do need to cover at some point. What are these? Matrix for the Spectrum. Oh dear, that's not going to be very good, I can tell. Oh, and a little stack of Spectrum Classics there. So yeah, got a few cassettes. And thinking about it, there's the Jeff Minter section here. That I need to find a proper place to have those as a little shrine, don't I? And we have Domo. Let's show you Domo. No, stand up, Domo. Yep, that's Domo. You know. And then there's a few Mario McDonald's toys. And now let's move this chair out the way because we've still got more to go through. I hope you brought a kappa with you when you started this. Some Macintosh keyboards to go with Macintosh from over there. We have, if I can get it here, oh dear, box of joysticks, Wyco Ergo stick, one of the worst joysticks ever for the BBC. They are terrible, but hey, BBC are stuck with it. Maverick, 600 ones. You know, you've probably seen me playing these with these on other videos. Unfortunately, I've now buggered that up completely, haven't I? Oh well, the keyboard's down the back now. There's more cassettes loose in there. I'm not going to go through those. Oh yeah, Amiga A500 Plus there. More random cassettes. I say random, they're all Spectrum, but just kind of all shoved in. Ooh, I haven't done Beam Rider for the Spectrum, have I? I'm curious what that's like. Every shoot 'em up I've covered that's been good on other formats hasn't been very good on the Spectrum, I've found. So, some of yours is not quite as easy to browse through. Not much more. Get out of the way, cable. Ooh. There's something very, very satisfying. There's something really warming about just flicking through cassettes. One of the things that I found getting back into getting back into gaming like this, instead of flicking through pages and pages and pages of directories of ROMs, which all look the same. There's something about flicking through racks of cassettes that's just so much more satisfying, and you get inspired more. So there's one reason for filling a room with cassettes. And also with discs. Almost there. Let's get this chair out the way. So let's get going on these. You can see what these are, he says, knowing that there's a few there that don't have spines. So they are, I think that's Metal Gear Midtown Madness 3, Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, PGR, maybe. Pirates of the Caribbean, didn't know I had that, must have picked that up free somewhere. So, PS3 games that bored the absolute tits off me and almost put me off gaming completely, until I got back into retro gaming, and then ended up getting a PS4 afterwards. You know, as you do. Out the way, Mr. Bubbles. Hopefully we can read all of these. Batu doesn't have to get out the way, you can read all of those, that's okay. The light on those, there we go, you can see those now. Some of these I had at the time, some of these picked up cheap because they're supposed to be classics, and as with so many of these, I haven't got round to it yet, but I will one day. I don't need to buy any games for a long time, basically, but obviously you see something going cheap and you go, well, I've got to have that as well. At least now it's all in one room. I have to think about whether I have room for anything anymore. Not having unlimited space means you then have to start being picky, so I'm going to have to start being picky, he says, knowing he won't, but there we go. Oh look, and Dread's still hogging that arcade machine there. And speaking of Dread, I made a Dread wall over here. So, is that everything? I don't know if it is, but we've been going almost 3/4 of an hour already. And that's just with me panning around and showing you various bits and pieces. I think I've covered everything. I'll try, if I can, to stitch in some footage of what this room used to look like. Because another reason, like I said, I want to share this with you. And also, some people have, I don't like saying it myself, have said I'm inspirational. I don't see that. You just do what you must. Those of you who've been following my channel for a while know, you know, depression, loss, cancer, various bits and pieces to deal with. It's been nightmarish at times, but some of this stuff's really helped get through it. And if I show you what this room looked like before, you might go, Jesus, or other blasphemy of your choice. I don't know. I just want to show people that even when things are really, really, really bad, just keep going. Power on through if you can. Don't feel guilty about stuff. Just do what you can. And eventually something that's absolutely dismal wreck of a place, covered with mould and stuff coming off the walls, and you just keep going. Just keep going a step at a time, and you can do it. Trust me, whatever it is, you can work through it, and you can have a lovely, peaceful, pastoral scene like this with maniacs driving through it, and somewhere to hang your Chinny Vision calendar, and electric things to fondle. I do like that. You know, you might have other things that you enjoy, games, or you might not want any Commodore 64 and Spectrum stuff. You might just want the latest games, and hey, if that's what you like, that's what you like. But, you know, when I'm feeling down now, I can come in here and go, no, things are doable, things are beatable. can get through stuff. When stuff seems bad, it's good to have a retreat that you can come to and go, yeah, we can work through this. We can make things nice, or as nice as we can. So now I'm concentrating on the rest of the house. Got Gus' bedroom done, got this room done. Next room now is the living room. So hence why it's taken me so long to actually get this into some kind of state where I wanted to share it with you, because there's been stuff all over the floor and stuff left out on the desk, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? Once you start using a room, things start moving around. But this is the state of play as it is at the moment in May 2018. Maybe at some point I'll finish that, because I think that's a nice touch, but it'll take a while to do. So yeah, I'll get those girders done at some point. And there's all sorts of other bits and pieces, I'm sure, that will evolve as time goes on. But yeah, this is where all the filming goes on now. But that seems to have stuck now, doesn't it? Oh well, I'll give it a nudge a minute. So yeah, this is the games room, and disco lighting included. Let's pop that up so we get a bit more light here. So I hope you enjoyed this rather long ramble. Oh, what didn't you? We're almost there. An old tripod. I didn't show you any of the bits up here, did I? Bits of cardboard. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about these. Talisman figures, lead miniatures, and 2000 AD lead miniatures. The Angel family and Dread and Judge Child and the Dark Judges, Don Uggy Apollino and his henchmen. There's a mixture of things. Oh look, and it's the very first camera I started filming with as well, which is now dead, so why don't I chuck it out? Because I don't throw anything out, do I? And that there be a disk drive for a BBC, and a stack more of loose 2000 ADs, a spare tripod, some, where's that torch? Shredded wheat Dungeons and Dragons holograms, which don't show up too well now, but yeah, so that's another thing I've been thinking of doing, is should I do another channel for old retro stuff that isn't games? You know, like black hole trading cards and board games and the like. So let me know what you think of that one. But oh yeah, and MSX cartridges, forgot about those. Yeah, I think I've covered most bits and pieces. If I haven't, do feel free to give us a nod and say, what was that in that corner there that you skimmed past and completely forgot to mention. But yeah, I think I've rambled for long enough now, haven't I? So yeah. Not much more to say, really. This is the games room. I like it. I hope you like it, and I hope it's inspiration for you to go, I'm gonna do what I want. If Rob can do it when he's feeling like death and his back's hurting and depression and anxiety is crippling him and things like that, you know, if I can manage to do this, really, get out there, do stuff that makes you happy, because it's worth it to make yourself happy. If it makes other people happy as well, then that's even better. So hopefully this makes me happy and it makes you happy as well, and if you see anything you'd like me to cover, let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to stop filming here, and maybe we'll wait until it's got dark outside so you can see the proper effect of all the lights, because that's quite spangly as well. But I'll leave this bit here, and maybe we'll switch over to some a quick slideshow of some pictures of what the room used to be like. Hope you enjoyed watching, even though I'm not going to be ending this video and adding more. But It's what I always say at the end of a video, isn't it? Ta-ta!